Welcome back to Baraton TV. This is the exclusive panel, and it is Friday, the 24th of March. In studio, we have the aspirants for the Secretary General. And of course, I'm not alone in studio, I'm joined by my co-host.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Osieku. Welcome to the panel.
How do you view today?
Yeah, things, I think so far so good. And the SG, remember, it's a very important post in this university. So I'm really expecting to hear from these aspirants what they are really planning to do for the students out there who will be voting for them on Tuesday next week.
Yes, thank you. So let's get down to serious business. Can you give us your opening statements and introduction? Who are you? Which department and which year are you from?
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Kupta Elvis. I'm a third year student, School of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences. I'm a third year and aspiring for the Secretary General. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Deborah Nyabonyi, a third year student in the School of Education, Humanities and Social Sciences, taking English Literature, an aspirant for the SABU Secretary General.
I'm Ronix Odhiambo from Department of Accounting and Finance, a third year student and an aspirant for the seat of Secretary General. Thank you.
I'd like to start with Deborah. Why this post? Why is this post important to you?
Okay, this post is important for me because I'm motivated that I would like to represent the students, to serve as their spokesperson in their needs, and I would like to inspire more young people to come up and be leaders, that no one should look down upon them.
Okay. Elvis?
Thank you very much. I want to say that I am inspired because there is a need to work for students. I have that urge to work as the Secretary General because I need to have or to work for students. They need us to in many activities like informing them. This seat for Secretary General requires someone who can update and inform them regularly in what is happening in the university. Thank you.
May go on. I'm inspired to be the Secretary General of SABU because the students need representation, and the representation of the students has been lacking. That's what inspires me more.
So Deborah has spoken and she has said she wants to represent the students. Ronix has said the representation of the students has been lacking. Elvis, in your leadership, if elected, how are you going to improve this?
The way we will improve the representation of students is by ensuring that their grievances are being submitted or being addressed and forwarded to the concerned authorities. For example, issues which affect students, we have to forward them. We discuss in the Congress. We come with a solution where we have to, which will help the students to avoid or to be out of that problems they are facing.
Deborah, what's the plan of bettering students and how are you going to go about it?
Okay, as per I'll go as per my role as per my roles in the constitution, I'll act as the spokesperson for the students. So when as my colleague has said, when they have grievances, I'll be able to hear them and forward them to their student council or the administration. Also, the communications from the administration to the students, they should be able to get the communication in due time so that there might not be inconveniences among students.
Ronix, how are you going to better communications between the students and the administration of the school?
Okay, communication is important, and involvement of the students in the decisions and in the decisions of SABU makes the students feel represented. Their views matters. So as the Secretary General of the SABU is for all students, I will be there. My office will be open to listen to the grievances. I will be associating with the students, and from there I will know what to bring to the executive of SABU and to bring to the Congress for the betterment of the students.
Okay. My second question to you is, what committees as the Secretary General do you sit in?
In the Senate, there's a technical committee, there's a disciplinary committee that we sit on. Yes, the two.
We also have the Students Affairs Subcommittee, which we attend as Secretary General. So also we have the Editor Board, which involves the school, the website, SABU website, the newspaper, and all those.
Thank you so much. I want us to go deeper into this issue of the committees, and maybe one of you, each one of you will have one committee to try to explain to us the composition of that particular committee and what are your roles in that committee. I'll give Elvis Student Affairs Subcommittee, then Deborah will focus on Student Disciplinary Committee, then Ronix will dwell on the ICT Committee. What are the composition? Who sit there and your roles in that particular committee? Yes, Ronix. Kindly be audible, please.
Committee, the chief auditor of the newsletter and the Crested Crane are involved, and also the DVC SATs, I think, is involved.
What are your roles in that committee, the ICT committee?
My role there is I should be the communication person there. I should look for a way of passing the information from there to the students and the administration authority.
Yes, Deborah, the Student Disciplinary Committee, the composition of that particular committee and your roles in that committee.
Okay, in the Student Disciplinary Committee, it is composed of the student leader of the CS Gender and Special Interest, the Secretary General, and the Deputy President, and the Deans are also included in the Student Disciplinary Committee. And so my role in the Student Disciplinary Committee is to when the student has been found in some cases, I should stand there as a Secretary General to fight for if this student to fight with the. I should stand on the side of the student to see that justice is given to this student, so that any student cannot be sent home because the justice was not done to him or for her.
Okay, thank you very much. In the Student Affairs Subcommittee, it consists of members led by DVCSAs. Then we have the deans, we have the student president, we have the deputy, and I, the Secretary General. My roles is to ensure that I passed all the information required from students and represent them, the views of the students in that committee. I'm also required to ensure that anything the students bring is submitted or is handled in that committee. Thank you.
Yes, Ashley will have a follow-up question on the disciplinary committee.
A student has been brought to the disciplinary committee for consecutively missing church appointments. What would be your advice, being that in the Constitution you can also be termed as the Secretary of Religious Affairs? What advice are you giving the disciplinary committee on this? Let's start with Ronix.
Okay, it will depend on the circumstances that has made the student to miss the appointment. We just don't jump into conclusion. We have the nursing students. We also have students that live far apart. Baraton is in Nandi County, and most of the appointments, the church appointments, if I may say, most of them take place in the evenings. What if it rains and the student is far away? So we also have to look at the circumstances that has led for the students to miss their appointments. But we will also average them because they are like the assembly one that is not in the evening. Yeah, we will have to consider all those.
Okay, what's your take on this?
Thank you. I want to say that these appointments are good for all of us. It's good that we have a Christian. We are in a Christian institution, and we have learned a lot. I want to say that if a student failed for this appointment, human is an error. He can make a mistake, maybe one or two, but we have to encourage them and give them that hope that they have to come. We have to teach them the benefits of coming and ensuring that they attend each and every appointment. Thank you.
Deborah?
Okay, in the student disciplinary committee, if this case is brought forward, we will look at the reasons why these students never missed church, and if it is involuntary, we'll consider it. But if it is voluntary that this student missed the consecutive, there's a number of consecutive days that he or she didn't go to church, I'll advise the committee that we should sit down and educate these students the importance of going to church and how to grow spiritually, and
When you talk about the importance of going to church, let's take into consideration this person is not a Seventh-day Adventist.
Okay, this person is not a Seventh-day Adventist, but during admission, you are told that this is a Seventh-day institution, so that like you signed somewhere that you have to abide by the laws, that you will have to go to church. So this person is supposed to go to church whether you are a Seventh-day Adventist or not a Seventh-day Adventist.
So that's a disciplinary case. You will not be for the student, but against the student. Is that your take?
Okay, I'll just advise the student that it's important to follow the rules, and if there will be mercy on this student, yeah, we'll look into it, but it's important that he or she should be educated on the importance of going to church.
Okay, let me throw it to Brian to ask the following.
Before I just,
questions.
bring my question, Deborah, are you saying that now you are in that disciplinary committee? This student has been brought. I mean, you will now advise this student at this point to go for church appointments. At that particular time, the student is facing maybe the disciplinary committee. Maybe he may be sent at home for suspension. What will you do at that particular time?
Okay, as I have said, that we'll look at why this student never went to church, isn't it right? Yeah, and I'll say that okay, before we'll take the students into tell them before. We are being told that we should read the student handbook and the rules that we are supposed to follow. We are being told that we should that there will be appointments, isn't it right? So we should tell this person that this is a Christian institution, and this person was told before that you should attend the appointment. So it is the student that we should advise that he or she should be going to church, and if he is not an Adventist, that we should advise that just follow the rules for you to move softly in this institution.
Thank you so much. Last year during the first semester's week of spiritual emphasis, some students complained about the sentiments made by the preacher of the day, which they termed as discriminative. I hope you remember. And maybe suppose you are the SG then, what action will you take? I'll begin with Ronix, the other end.
Okay, matters religion are very important. We are Seventh-day Adventists, I myself, and we worship God. Even those who are not Seventh-day Adventists, they worship the same God. We cannot assume if the sentiments are wrong in our church and it is about the same God they worship outside there, it doesn't make sense. We must preach this religion in a manner that welcomes all the students. Let's not make them feel as if they are worshiping another God apart from us. If I was in that situation, I know we need to convert them, but we should do it in a better manner. Yeah.
Deborah.
Okay, I had the students complaining, but I would advise that if yes, all of us are not Adventists, but if we would want these students to know the right way, we should start step by step, not just going like this church is bad or what, but we should tell these people that this is the right thing, and from the Bible, like we should take them to Bible study lessons, so that they can know that this way is right and this way is not right. Because I had people complimenting and to the previous preacher this year's was saying that at least this preacher knows how to preach. Like, he never attacked the other denominations directly, but he said that this way is good and this way is not good for us.
Thank you very much. I want to say that if I was the Secretary General, the first thing is that we need to have the views of the students. We need to ask them. That's the way, one way, the way in Chaplain used to make it, but I don't know what happened that year. We have to know the views of the students, the topics which the preacher or the speaker is supposed to handle for the benefits of the students, so that that doesn't come with that, it doesn't bring that problem according to their views.
Yes, maybe my last question before I go back to Ashley. Do we have classes on Sunday? Maybe I know you've been interacting with students and you know what happens. Do we have them on Sunday? And if yes, do you think we are being fair to students who go to church on Sunday? We'll begin with Ronix.
Okay, according to the class timetables, there are no classes on Sunday. If there is one, then it is a class that is arranged between the lecturer and the student.
And remember, most of the time they go with the majority. Suppose I'm the only student who is not comfortable with that day. Do you think my view will be respected?
I know the lecturers of this school, they respect the views of everyone. Even my last class, we were trying to find a date for a suitable date for an exam, and I remember the lecturer was so categorical that we will consider even a view of a single student. As long as one is not comfortable, then the date will have to be shifted.
Deborah.
Okay, there are no classes on Sunday, and there should be no classes on Sunday. Classes should start on Monday and end on Friday, because there are many things out here that students have to do. There are other businesses that students have to carry out here on Sundays, and there are other students who go to church on Sunday. For example, the Catholic students, they should be allowed to go, but there should be no classes at Sunday totally.
Okay, thank you. I can say that there's no classes on Sunday except the class which is planned by the teacher and the students, as my brother said. What I can say concerning that is that there should be no classes. We should be giving them time to worship. We also need a break for a little bit, then we come back on Monday with full energy. So there should be no classes. Even the law of the land says that there is freedom of worship. I think they should be given that day to worship. Thank you.
Maybe on that topic of classes, there might be no classes on Sunday, but how about the classes held from maybe 7 to 10 p.m.? I'm talking respective of classes, labs, which happen up until 10 p.m. Is the security outside of the school, are our students outside the school that secured to be holding classes till 10 p.m.? Don't you consider the danger? And if there is, what steps will you take to prevent this from happening?
Okay, thank you. I think it's not secured for students to be here up to 10. At least they can come up to 8, then they have to leave. The one way I can do that is to, maybe I will forward to the department of, or the academics committee, so that they can look on that, and then they can reduce time to 8 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, so he has talked about reducing the time up to 8 p.m. What other alternatives will you be giving the school to not hold classes up until 10 p.m., Deborah?
Like we can not necessarily at 8, we can maybe put them, we can talk with the CS academics so that they can put the classes until maybe 9. 9 is not that bad because it's not too late. So like covering the yeah, I know at the science department they have a lot to cover, so that's why they extend till 10 p.m. So to cover for this time, maybe I know most of the classes end at 5. We can push them till 6 or 5:30 so that they can cover this time. 5:30 is better, is at least better. They can cover the time till 5:30 so that they can cover this time, the time they could be doing their labs, maybe their classes till 10, so that they cannot go home at their houses very late.
In cases of rain, like right now, and we are having classes up until 10:30, maybe the lecturer was held up with a lot of classes and couldn't attend, and this is the only time the lecturer seems to be available. Ronix, what other strategy do you have in place if elected?
Okay, security of our students should be and must be of the most important. We have to ensure that this area, the Baraton Center area, is secure. One thing I can say that we should, or we can organize with the security of Nandi County to ensure that the center is secure. We need an active, at least an active police patrol to also, there's also a lot of stealing by the way of late. So we need an active police patrol around the area for the security of our students.
Okay. I think Brian has a follow-up question.
Yes, I'm trying to imagine the issue with security. Does it lie in your docket as the Secretary General? This is just a quick question, like matter security. Is it in your docket as the Secretary General?
It is not in my docket. It is not under my roles, but we have to look at the students' welfare. It is under student affairs. If the students are not comfortable outside there, should you keep quiet because it's not on your docket?
Now the question is, who is responsible for the security of students?
I think there's a dean of campus, there's a DVC SATs.
Maybe Deborah, who is responsible for the security of students?
I think the person who is responsible for the security of the students is the administration. They should ensure that each and every student is secured and lives comfortable wherever he is, either off campus or on campus.
I think you'll have to go and read more on the Constitution to know who is responsible for the security of the students in campus. Yes.
Okay, I can also, I want to say that we have the Security Council, which is supposed to be concerned. We also have the DVC Affairs, which is also have a concern about the security of the students. Also, we have to rely with the Senator of Campus Men to help us to handle those security issues. Thank you.
Okay, so let's turn it down a little bit. What challenges do you think the previous Secretary General faced? And in your view, if there are any challenges, how would you improve on it? Let's start with Elvis.
Thank you. I think the challenges which came through is the teamwork, which really didn't work very well. When you work with as a team, it will be better than when you are working alone. So as if I will be elected as the Secretary General, I will work with my colleagues, other leaders, for example the President. I will work closely with him and other people, him or her, to ensure that my office is productive and we work to have a better place.
Okay, Deborah.
I think the biggest challenge with the previous Secretary General is mainly the communication. The communication was not that good between the students and the administration, because for instance we can see now that there are some rules that are put in place that students were not told before. So you find that the students complaining that why were we not informed that, for example, we are being told that we see the on-campus students, the ladies are supposed to get into school by 9. So we find that the students complaining that they have not been told of this rule. They just find that there's some new rule that have come up, and the rule of not entering with food. There are some people inside who have challenges because they cannot, because those who live on campus, others don't go for lunch, and they have to carry their small lunch so that they can eat in school, but they can't do it.
Okay, Ronix.
I can say the challenge that we faced under the outgoing Secretary General was just my fellows have said, lack of communication, and I think not involving the students in the affairs of the SABU executive and the Congress. Yeah.
Let me pass it to Brian for the last question, and then we can close.
Yes, my question is, do you think the SABU constitution has given you enough powers to execute your duties? Sorry for that. Do you think the SABU constitution has given you enough powers to execute your duties as the Secretary General for SABU? Do you have enough powers?
Thank you. I want to say that the powers which I have for the Secretary General, according to SABU Constitution, can say still it's not enough. We have many other issues which arises, and which I can also handle as the Secretary General.
Which issues are these? You're saying that there are many other issues which you can handle as the Secretary General, and maybe you can shed more light on the same.
Okay, mostly is concerning students' affairs, which affect students. For example, there are issues which affect students on off campus, and they are going through a lot of challenges. We need to consider them. We need to consider them and ensure that they are enjoying their lives out there. Also, we have a lot of rights in our student handbook. I will ensure that we enjoy those rights. For example, right to form associations, as long as it's go hand in hand with the handbook and constitution. Also, we have to have close relationship with other universities or other colleges, so that we encourage that and see way forward.
Just a follow-up question. You are talking about students from the off-campus. Don't we have a senator for the off-campus students? Then number two, on the other issue, you talked about campus universities. We also have a senator for the same. I mean, when you decide to take that responsibility, don't you think that you'll be evading some other person's responsibilities?
Okay, thank you. I want to say that we have to work as a team. We have to ensure that we bring everything up and we become perfect. So I think if I will be added those responsibilities, I will work with them to ensure that we come up higher.
Thank you so much. Deborah and Ronix, I think you'll take 1 minute for the same question.
Okay, what I can say is that the secretary, as the Secretary General, if elected, I don't have all the powers. For example, if the deans and the DVCs and or the administration in general have said that have put this. There are some rules that students are not being consulted or told that that this rule of entering to school by 9, or this rule of not coming with food to school, if I'm not included into this, or I'm not given the opportunity, I as a spokesman of the students, if I'm not given opportunities to hold a meeting with the students so that I can inform these students what is going on, so that we can be in an agreement, I cannot do that because I'm not given that opportunity. If I consult and I'm not given that opportunities, so that I can schedule for a forum to inform the students of what they are supposed to do, I cannot do it because I don't have the powers. I have to work hand in hand with the administration so that I can prosecute those duties.
I'm trying to imagine a SABU. I think you have that mandate to organize for a meeting with students, I think twice in a semester. Are you saying that that is not enough?
It is enough, but I have to talk to the administration and the deans so that they can give me that opportunity to schedule those meetings. But if I talk to them and there's no that opportunity, I don't have those powers to just hold a meeting by myself and the students.
Okay, the responsibilities that are stated in the SABU constitution give us the powers. I think they are enough if we exercise them. Yeah.
This one will be just a quick one. Sorry, Ashley. Do you have the SABU website? You know, Elvis, I heard you say about it, and it's also in the roles, in your roles in the Constitution. Do you have the SABU website? Because you're going to handle this and to manage it. Do you have it? And if yes or no, what are you going to improve? Or, I mean, this entire thing, you know, the SABU, the SABU website. What are you going to go about it?
Thank you. We have the SABU website, and what we need to have is that we have to bring students and SABU leadership close, and then we have to inform them in everything and events, programs, and policies of the SABU. Thank you.
Oh yeah, we have a SABU website, and I've seen my former Secretary General post some things on the website. Yeah, this website is there so that we can inform the students and other people, maybe the alumni of this school, the events and the programs.
I can see the website is there, but it's not that active. I think the role I'll play is to make it more active for the students.
Okay. I think we need to close this because the presidential debate is about to start. So I want you to look at that camera and you talk to your voter who is going to vote for you on the 28th of March on Tuesday.
To all Baraton students, members of the Student Association of Baraton University, we are given a chance again to elect a representative leader. Let's come out and let's do it. Let's support each other in this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All Baratonians, it's another moment that we come and we have to look for a change. The change is in your hand, and that's the only thing that can make your future better. I therefore requesting for your votes. Make me as a Secretary General, and let us create that future together. Thank you.
To all students and the delegates who will be privileged to be elected, I am kindly requesting for your votes. Alone I cannot make it, but if we join hands together, we can. And I'm ready to work with you for the betterment of our institution.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have heard the aspiring Secretary Generals and what they're planning to improve on, and also what they think is best for this docket. I have been your host today, Atieno Ashley. And